Still a lot of talk about Ohio State's running game after the 21-7 victory at Northwestern. It's a third straight week where there have been some sort of question about how Ohio State has moved the ball. So, Doug, from talking to Ryan Day today, a lot of topics come up. I mean, he comes back all the time: personnel, coaching, scheme, and kind of admitting that there are problems right now, maybe with all three of those things as far as executing the run game. What maybe stood out to you as his biggest admission of what needs to change going forward?
So he definitely talked about one play where he thought they could have done a better job with the numbers, equating the numbers, which is there's too many guys in the box. They don't have enough guys to block them. And when you and I redid the Monday pod and looked at it, I think it was the fourth down run. I think there were 7 blockers and 8 guys in the box, and the unblocked linebacker made the tackle. That's, I'm pretty sure, is the play he was talking about. But I did think more than he has this year. I think he did admit to sort of the offensive line not winning enough one-on-one battles, which I just didn't feel like he had gone there quite as much, and I think he kind of had to stare at it against Northwestern and admit that at least multiple times that was a big part of why the run game didn't work, and that felt different to me.
Yeah, I agree that was something new. And, Stephen, you were asking about personnel, and well, go ahead and kind of break down what the way he is thinking about personnel right now.
Yeah, I wanted to see if he felt like he had some other options that they could at least give a look at, especially against Indiana, where it's no different than Northwestern in terms of the talent of the opponent, except you're not going to be dealing with 40-mile-per-hour winds. So maybe you can throw that out there. We've seen Enoch Bamahi come in for Matthew Jones at times as he continues to deal with whatever foot injury he's dealing with and wearing a bigger shoe and all this stuff. And we've seen Josh Fryer in those tackle-eligible spots. And so I wanted to see where their development is and if they could actually be that. He was high on Josh Fryer. He did admit that, coming off that injury, it's maybe taking him a little bit more time to develop and, get back to where he needs to be and be up to speed. But he likes what he's doing now. He wasn't as high on Enoch Bamahi, so that maybe explains why we haven't necessarily seen him be so quick to, rotate on the interior the way that we saw them do last year when guys were dealing with some injuries. But if guys aren't winning one-on-one battles, that's a personnel thing over scheme and coaching above anything else. And so if you have a game where maybe you have a chance to get any of these guys out there, I wanted to see if they would be willing to go down that road. And he said that he still thinks he's playing the best 5. And that might be true. So now is that best 5 good enough to actually, help this team win a national championship?
Yeah, I mean, you're right that Vamahi is snuck in there a little bit, and Fryer's been the 6th guy. They haven't done what they did last year, which was have Matt Jones being sort of like a utility guy who would go in and play a whole series. It was scripted. It was the plan going into a game a lot of times, I think, that he was going to go in and play for Thayer Munford for kind of an extended period of time. So I think that's your best indication so far, because they will do it. They showed last year that they'll do it. If they have a guy who is 5B or whatever, he's right on the cusp of being starting caliber, I think they would play him to help Matt Jones right now. I don't think they have confidence beyond the 5 that they're playing right now. So that puts an emphasis on those guys getting better. It also lets you know what could happen if they ever ran into an injury situation on this offensive line this year. I think it could be a bigger issue for some of the bigger games that they have coming up. We'll still be talking about the run game on Buckeye Talk, and get the texts 614-350-3315, news and analysis all week from Buckeye Talk.